Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I got my husband to randomly pick 5 numbers between 20 and 200, and that is the amount of pages I'm going to be reading per day. I have attempted to film this video twice now, and I have failed every single time. I've kept the same numbers that my husband originally chose because I can't really redo that because he didn't know what the numbers he was choosing is for. If I ask him again, he's gonna know. So without further ado, let's go see the numbers my husband chose for me. I have my dear husband Romeo here with me, and you have a really simple job.
Okay.
All you have to do is give me 5 numbers between 20 and 200.
You just want me to list them off?
Yeah, go for it.
25, 77, 89, 42, 55.
You want to know what you just picked for me?
Sure.
You picked how many pages of my book I'm going to read every day next week.
Oh, okay.
So I got this idea from Faith's Reading Things. I don't know if anyone else has done it, but I tried to do some research and it looks like she's the only person to have done this so far. I love watching her videos. She's the greatest. Go check out her channel if you enjoy book-related content. So I originally, the 2 times that I filmed this video, I was super strict. I said Monday through Friday, these are the days we're going to read this many pages. I have it all mapped out on this little paper. That's what we're gonna do. The problem with that is I almost never have 5 good days in a row where my mental health is good and I'm able to read a lot and I'm able to get things done and I'm motivated. Rarely 5 days in a row is that the case. So the only way I can figure out how to make this video actually work is by dropping the time restriction, and instead of Monday through Friday in a consistent week, I am going to be reading however many pages my husband picked out for me per day I feel good. It's the only way this is going to work. And I could have cheated. I could have edited this all together so it looks like it's 5 consecutive days. But I feel like since I mentioned my mental health so often in this channel, it's not necessary. So we're going to start this today. To be honest, I'm not feeling great. However, for Monday, the amount of pages I have to read today is 25. And I feel like I can do that even though I'm not feeling my best. See, I always start this video when I'm feeling my best, only have to read 25 pages, and then the next day, it's triple that. And I'm not doing good anymore. So, that's how this whole thing is going to work. I'm going to start this reading vlog reading The Air by Kiara Cass. This is technically the 4th book in the selection series, but I think this, The Air, and The Crown are their own little series. I don't know how that whole thing works, but we're going to start with this book. I have to read 25 pages, minimum. I will probably surpass that today. And lucky for us, 25 is the end of a chapter. So I have to read 3 chapters of The Air today. I have already officially finished my goal for today. I got to page 25 because I left off on page 26. Haven't read it yet. I'm gonna keep reading. Romeo just headed off to basketball. I literally was able to finish my goal today within 1 episode of his show. So, go me. Like I said, I don't feel well today, but I'll let you know tomorrow if I get any more of my book done. It has been a couple of days. Conference weekend was this last weekend, and we just had people coming and going out of our house all weekend, so I did not have like any time to read. And today is also going to be chaotic because I have to post a video tomorrow that is not edited. So I have my work cut out for me today. So this is probably the worst day that I could decide to film. Day 2 of this challenge. But it wouldn't be a challenge if I chose the easy days to do it, right? I have to read 77 pages today. I'm on page 26, so add 77 to that. 4 is 100 plus the extra 3, 103. Is that correct math? So the closest chapter we can get to is chapter 12. I'm on chapter 3 right now. I also had an idea. We might not even need to use this idea, but I thought if I don't complete the challenge for every day that I'm doing this, I will keep track of how many pages I didn't read that I was supposed to, and I'll do a day 6 where I catch up on all the pages that I failed to read. Does that make any sense? Hopefully, we won't have to use that idea that I thought of. But since I am somewhat cheating on this video and I'm not doing 5 consecutive days, I figure this is a way to make it more interesting. Today, I want to go outside. Crazy to hear me say that, I know. Not only do I want to go outside, but I have a little hammock that I set up with Romeo sometimes, and we go outside and lay in the hammock. I'm gonna try to set that up all by myself for the first time. Big things. I know. I really don't have the energy to do that, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try anyway because it's something I've wanted to do, and I just need to get it done and out of my head so that I can move on with my life. That's the plan, and I'm so nervous. That was gonna get me out of bed. I literally just had a heart attack. I thought I was about to die. He started barking, and then I heard a big bang. I'm still not recovered from that. I literally thought that someone was breaking into our house, and I was about to get murdered. Okay, I just left, and I'm feeling a little anxious, but I want to do this. So, I know that talking to someone helps when I'm feeling anxious, especially about being outside alone. So I have my mic strapped onto my bag. Hope you can hear me. Like my friend's bag. It's very cute. It feels really nice outside. All you need is a light jacket. Oh, maybe over here. That could be a good spot. Not too far from home. Yeah, let's try to set up camp here. Between one of these trees. Okay, now I gotta remember how to do this. Alright, put that in there. And then wrap this part around the tree. How do you wrap it around the tree without looking like an idiot? Like that? Oh yeah, that looks right. Okay. Good thing y'all can't see me, because I look stupid. This FedEx guy has his music blasted. Oh my gosh, he's not only blasting his music, he is singing his little heart out. I put that up all by myself. Look at me go. You guys, I'm in and it's holding. I did drop my water bottle as I was trying to jump up here. Now it's filthy, so that kind of sucks. But dang, we did it. I think I want to barricade myself. Can you hear that? It's so loud. This is slightly a problem because I did want to barricade myself in, but I think that's a bit too much. Well, I've learned I can sit crisscross in here because that's how I'm sitting right now, but I don't want to. I want to be like laid out. I could not, in fact, figure out how to lay across this way. So we're just in here crisscross applesauce. I don't know. How do you hammock? All right. I think it's time for me to just start reading. I would love to set you outside of this thing and record myself reading. I don't know if I can do that. It is a struggle to get in here and get situated. There's people. I gotta go. I just woke up from a nap. I was outside for max an hour since the time I left my house. The time I was back at my house was probably an hour. Roman came home earlier than I expected, which was fine because it was actually kind of chilly. Like, it was such a nice temperature while I was walking around, but sitting and not moving, I had to pull out my blanket, and even then I was like shivering a little. It was a little too cold. Anyway, so I only read 2 chapters. I'm on page 48. So we have a long way to go today. I don't even know what time it is. Romeo's not home and he normally has a meeting at 4, so I'm guessing somewhere around that time. I'm gonna try my best, but I might not get 77 pages done. We'll see. Day 3 of my husband picks my page count video. On day 2, my goal was 77 pages, and I ended up reading 21, so not even close. So that will be added to day 6. Today has not been a good day. The last 2 weeks, I have been extremely depressed, and today was maybe one of the worst depression days that I've had. Last night I had probably a 2-hour anxiety attack. It was bad, and I just woke up today completely done with life. Normally, when I get depressed, I can just kind of sleep it off for a few days. Take it easy, don't do much, only do things that bring me joy, and then I gain my motivation and my will to live. But when it gets as bad as it's gotten yesterday, today, lately. I've got to do something. I've got to do something or I will, who knows, is the real answer. Even though I feel completely terrible, I started day 3 of reading. Today's goal is the most out of the 5 days, which is scary. It is 89 pages. I already did the math. That will put me to chapter 15, and I have gotten to chapter 11 today. So basically halfway what I am supposed to read today, I've done. I never really told you guys what this book was about, so I guess I'll do that now. This is the 4th book in the selection series. The first 3 books is America's story of being in the selection, which is basically like a bachelor style event to find the prince a wife. So America goes into that, and it's not what you expect. America doesn't actually want to be in the selection, but if you are in the selection, your family gets paid for as long as you're there. So she's trying to stay in the selection for her family's sake, but she doesn't actually want to marry the prince. So anyway, there's 3 books of America's story, and then this book is Edelyn, her story, and she is Maxon, the prince in the first book, his daughter. This is her story. She's going through her own selection process, and it's kind of similar to America's story because she doesn't actually want to get married, but nonetheless, this is what is expected of her, so she has to do it. So that is this story. This is a reread for me. The selection series is quite possibly my favorite book series. I love it so much. It's just fun. It's easy. It's fast paced. There are some crazy plot twists. That's it. I'll update you again probably at the end of the day. I'm not going to try very hard today. Right now, Romeo is playing basketball. So I'll probably read until he gets home. So if I can finish my 89 pages in that time, wonderful. If not, that sucks. I'll add it to day 6. I indeed did not update y'all yesterday like I said I was. So sorry. I'm doing better today mentally. We have, I guess, a busy day, as in I'm going to be out of my house a lot today, but like I'll just be sitting stagnant. The basketball tournament for our stake is starting today. So Romeo is reffing 2 games and then obviously playing 1. So I'm going to go with him to one of the games that he's reffing, and I'll be able to read there. And then, I mean, obviously I won't be able to read while he's playing, but I'll watch him play. I did hit my goal of 89 pages yesterday. I actually hit it really easily. Like, I was just reading all in one sitting, got it done. And I'm like, okay, I'm at chapter 15, but I feel like I haven't really been reading for that long. So I went back and I double checked my math, and sure enough, I mathed it out correctly. So that's cool. Today we have 42 pages, which means we are reading, exactly chapter 19 is 184. I wanted to give an update on my liking of the book. I've said in previous videos, I like it when characters are kind of unlikable, like when they have depth to them and you're like, you're kind of stuck up, or especially with these YA books when we're reading about teenagers, if the teenagers actually act like teenagers and they're not making the best choices, I enjoy that. With that being said, I don't really like our main character. She's kind of stuck up. It makes sense because she's a princess. She's lived in the castle her whole life. She hasn't gotten a feel for what's outside. But also at the same time, her mother knows what's up. Like, her mom has been out in the real world and has not lived in the castle her whole life, so I can't imagine her mother would let her get this self-absorbed. And like, there are parts in this book where the mother is like, hey, you're about to be queen. Like, you really need to step it up. Like, you can't be acting like this anymore. And she's like, ugh, you just think everything's wrong with me and I can't be good enough for you. And it's also weird because they're in this world where the selection is put on television for people to watch, but then she knows absolutely nothing about her parents' selection, which is just weird to me. But if you're in a world where you have television and you have the selection broadcast for all of everyone to watch, wouldn't you also have recording capabilities? Why couldn't she go back and like watch her parents' selection? Like, I know that they don't get everything on camera, but at the same time, like, she knows literally nothing about her parents' selection, and it's kind of weird. Okay, you're nervous about how the selection is and how the interviews will look because you have to go on interviews and tell the whole country about your date that you just went on. And she's like, oh, that's weird, that's awkward. Okay, find the recordings of your parents doing the exact same thing. I think that's it for my thoughts. I try to give my thoughts on books every 100 pages. Is that too many? Because a video that I filmed that I thought would be 30 minutes max was 45. And I'm like, am I talking too much? Am I giving too frequent of updates? Should I update like once in the middle of reading and once at the end? I don't know. Let me know. Oh my gosh, pretty birds. Oh, they're so cute. They're just little. I love little animals. Anyway, wish me luck. We are back. It is the next day. So we're getting through this challenge really fast. I completed my 42 pages. Let me check that box. I surpassed the page count that I needed to, and then there was still like 30 minutes of the game left that I wasn't watching, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can just keep reading and it'll be great and I'll get a lot of reading done today." That did not happen because I forgot that chapter 19, the chapter I was supposed to stop on yesterday, is a really triggering chapter for me. Actually, I went through something really similar to what Adolin went through, and so I'm sitting there in the gym with all these people running around me, and I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I was struggling a lot. I ended up finishing the chapter because I'm like, I don't want to stop halfway through this chapter, even though I'm super triggered. I don't want to stop halfway through the chapter and then have to pick up the chapter again. I just want to get through it, read it all, but also I'm in the church building. Like, I'm not in the comfort of my own home. So that made it worse. So after I finished chapter 19, I went out to the foyer and I sat on a chair in the corner of the room and I called my sister and we talked and she calmed me down and it was fine. This is literally a reread for me and I completely forgot that happened. I completely forgot. So that was a lot for me to handle. We're moving on. Today I have to read 55 pages, and this is technically the last day of the page count challenge, except for on day 2, I didn't hit the reading goal. So I have 56 pages to read on day 6 is our makeup day. So we'll hopefully keep that number at 56 and I'll be able to read 55 pages today. But we will see. Yeah, I don't really have the opportunity like I did yesterday to just sit and read somewhere. So I'm actually gonna have to force myself to read today, which is so fun. Let's see. I stopped on page 195. Oh, easy. So that's page 250, which will leave us on chapter 26. Chapter 26 is on page 254. So a little bit more. So that means I have to read 6 chapters today. Totally doable. I just have a lot on my mind today. There's a lot going on. So I don't know how easy it's going to be to just sit and read. It's about 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock, which means Romeo will be home within an hour. I could probably finish my page count in an hour because I've already read this book and it's such a fast-paced book. If I don't, we'll try to read later tonight, maybe during halftime of Romeo's game tonight. Anyway, that's all. Cool. Great update, Gabby. I did it. Surprisingly, Romeo came home from school earlier than expected yesterday, so I didn't get any reading done before he came home. And I didn't think we would have like much time to read, not like the day before where I had like a ton of time because we were there while he was reffing one of the games. But we ended up getting to the church building for his game so much earlier than I thought. So I had time before his game started to read the amount of pages I needed to. That's not true. I had time before his game to read about half of the pages that I had to. And then when he got home and took a shower, I finished the pages. So I did end up finishing the amount of pages I needed to Thank goodness. Um, I really didn't think I would because I started reading my pages at 9 o'clock or 8:30 or something like that, and I'm like, there's no way. But I did it. So today, day 6, is makeup for day 2, where I was supposed to read 77 pages and I only read 21. So now we have 56 pages to make up for today, which I think we're going to stay at the church building between the 2 games. So we have one game at 1:30 and another game at 3:30, so there's a game in between, and we're just going to stay at the church throughout that. So I have a whole hour to get that done. I can totally do that, which will bring us to chapter 31, and I'm on chapter 26 right now, which actually, oh, I have about 100 pages left of this book. So I thought I could maybe just finish the book while I was at the church today, but I don't think I'll be able to do that. I don't know what happens if I don't. I just try again tomorrow. We'll cross that bridge if we get to it, but that's the plan. I can explain. I have been doing so well with my agoraphobia. I've been able to go outside and read. I've been able to make it to the stake center 2 days to go watch Romeo play basketball. Like, I've been doing so well. And then Saturday happened. I could not tell you what the difference was. There was no difference. There was no difference except for maybe the weather. I get anxious when I'm hot, and it was definitely warm on Saturday, so maybe that triggered everything, set everything off. Halfway down to the stake center, I had an anxiety attack. We just stood on the sidewalk for probably close to 20 minutes before I was able to start walking again. Oh, it was so bad. My anxiety about leaving the house, my anxiety about walking further away, it killed me. It killed me, and we ended up getting to the stake center, and oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was so bad. Once we finally got there, I was crying, and we sat in the foyer. There's a chair kind of off to the side. So, here's the door, here's the chair, and then the gym door is right here. And so, half the people who walked in just kind of walked in and walked to the gym. The other half walked in, kind of took a look around. Some of them said hello, some of them just took in the fact that I was crying in the foyer. But it was just terrible. I don't know these people very well. I've been in this ward for, oh my gosh, actually, next month will be a year. That's crazy. So I should know these people very well, but I have agoraphobia. So I only get to church, and that's the first hour of church where you don't really talk to anyone. And I also can't make it to most of the church activities either. So I really don't know people very well. There are a few people in this ward that are my friends now. Other than that, I know no one. Romeo was standing next to the chair. He was supporting me. He was trying to calm me down. And then someone popped their head out of the gym. I was like, hey, Romeo, we're starting. You got to get in here. And he's like, okay, I'm going to dial your parents. You talk to them until you feel well. I sent a text to one of your friends and I asked them to come pick you up because obviously you need to be home today, which I felt so bad about. I really wanted to be there and support him, but he knew what I could handle better than I knew what I could handle, and he texted my friend for me. And he's like, call your parents until this friend can come pick you up. I'm so sorry I have to leave, but this is why I'm here. And one of the girls from my ward came by the chair while I was on the phone to my parents, and she gave me a little side hug and asked if I was okay. And I'm like, all the while bawling. I have not left my house since. That was Saturday. I missed both of Romeo's games that day. And then I couldn't get to church on Sunday. I got all dressed up. I got my makeup on. I got dressed. I was ready to go, had my shoes on, and I got another anxiety attack and I couldn't make it. It's now Monday, and that is my excuse for why I did not read at all during day 6. So we're just gonna plop day 6 down on today. We have to read 56 pages, and we'll try to do that today. I also have a lot of other things I need to get done today, but I've already done a lot. I ordered our groceries for this week. I completed a task that my sister gave me last week to help her with one of her assignments. So I'm working on it. I am doing things today, and one of the things I wanted to do today is read my 56 pages. This was a really fun idea for a video, but it has just not worked out, which is what I've been saying about every single video that I've put out. So, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Am I just the worst? Be honest. I'll give up. You guys, I finished this video that I started in probably February. Yesterday, I read, I think, exactly 56 pages. Yeah. If you want to see my rating on this book that we have been reading together and my reading for the next book, the whole series as a whole, what was I going for there? Make sure to stay tuned. This will be in my spring wrap up. Check that out when it comes out at the end of spring, probably mid June. So stick around for that. That should be really fun. And thank you guys so much for coming and reading with me. I know it was a process and I know I cheated so many times, but this video would not have gotten out if I didn't. So I'm so sorry for that. But thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. I hope you all have a wonderful day and I will see y'all next time. Did you know that elephant seals, they do this with their noses?
Did not know that.
Bro, we didn't even get to the hundreds.
Yeah. What was the range again?
20 to 200.
Oh.
We are trying our best to do things that make us happy, even if in the moment joy is an impossible task. Oh, hello. There's a little bee outside my window. And your name will be in a history book one day, and some bored 10-year-old will memorize it for a test and then forget all about you. You have a job, just like everybody in the world. Stop acting like it makes you more or less than anyone else.